So I want to make sure everybody's got weights, blocks, and a Theraband and a blanket. So lift one knee. That's all right. And lift the other knee. Ouch. Wow. Yeah. So in case you're wondering, I have my YouTube channel, and your classes are under the Gentle file folder, but also in our thread, I'm giving you the link. You'll see my square that has my S for Sue.
That's so awesome.
Okay, and you should be able to, if you have Roku, put it on your phone and then project it onto your TV. Or simply take your TV and go to YouTube if you have streaming and search. So, yes, yes. Actually, I went back and pulled some old classes that I did during COVID at the yoga studio and also added them in the, so Cheryl, you've got the second block is way too high, honey. It goes underneath your shoulder blades. So, I mean, it's got to be down here. You have it up here, and it needs to be here. Okay.
This one?
Yes.
I know it's something feeling.
Yeah. So everybody welcome Kelly. She was in my class yesterday at the yoga studio, and doesn't have any tennis this morning.
No.
So she's joining us, and we will get started here. There we go. So you're already in a glute smash, everyone. Kind of started a little early. And if you would just now go ahead and take your blocks and set them to the side where you can reach them, and then lay your back down upon the mat. And extend your legs out nice and long. And lift your fingers to the ceiling and draw your shoulders down. Take your hands over your head. Actively point your toes towards the front of your mat and reach your fingers far behind. Now arch your back and see if you can get a bit more extension in your spine here. And just notice how that feels on your skin and on your body. Then gently draw your knees up and rock side to side, and you can place your hands on top of your knees and allow the knees to circle around. Go several times in one direction and several times in the opposite direction. So we're massaging that sacral plate at the base of your spine. Come back to a neutral position and put both feet on the floor. Pick the right heel up from the inside. As you cup your hand over the heel, let the right knee move away from your torso so that your thigh bone externally rotates in the hip socket. Let your left knee lean to the left. As you begin to pump that thigh down towards the earth, make sure the sole of the foot faces the ceiling. Now just hold it down the best you can. And then slowly try to straighten that leg and bring it back to a 90-degree angle. So we're just flexing and extending that leg. Now extend the leg the best you can. It won't be straight. We're not warmed up. But now push that heel up into your hand. have the hand resist. As your hand resists, it pushes down into the heel. And you might actually feel the energy go all the way down into that hip socket. Gently release, bring that ankle bone across on top of the left thigh. Pick the left thigh up for figure 4 and thread your hands behind it. And you can begin to tug that left thigh towards you. Use your right elbow to help that right thigh move away from you. And then just hold it the best you can. Maybe rock side to side a little bit. And then release your hands and put your left foot on the floor. Extend the right foot to the ceiling and extend the left leg out upon the mat. Now tilt your pelvis towards the front of your mat so that the back of your left thigh touches the ground. Begin to circle little toe side, foot and ankle. And then circle back, big toe side, foot and ankle. And then just curl the toes upwards. And then put the foot on the floor and grab your Theraband. And place the Theraband over the sole of the foot. Make sure the Theraband is nice and flat and not bunched up. Put each tail in each hand. Now it's not a hard resistance, it's a gentle resistance as you bring the back of your arms to the mat. Now start to rock the foot back and forth. In other words, pull on your left tail and the foot curls inwards. And then pull on your right tail and the foot curls outwards. So rock that foot back and forth. And then come back to a neutral position and put the both tails in your right hand. Let the right leg go out to the right. Circle the leg all the way around to the front of your mat and then hoist your foot back up. So do about 5 of these circles with your entire leg and just feel how it rotates in your hip socket. And then reverse it and go in the opposite direction. Letting the leg go forward first and circle it around and bring it back up. And then come back to a neutral position and pull down on the tails with both hands and flex that foot. As you do that, push through your heel so you get a nice little stretch, not only in your calf, but in your hamstring. And then push the foot upwards, follow the foot upwards into the band. And then exhale, pull down on the ball of the foot and push through the heel. One more time, push upwards and pull down. And then keep the leg straight and pull the band off of the foot and let the leg float all the way down as you take your hands over your head for a nice long stretch. And just observe the difference between your right and left side. Then gently bend your knees, put both feet on the floor, pick the left heel up with your left hand, let that left thigh externally rotate as you begin half happy baby on this side. And maybe this hip feels a little tighter. And then just hold it down for a gentle stretch. Let that right thigh lean to the right. And begin a single windshield wiper of lengthening and bending that left leg. And then lengthen the leg the best you can and apply pressure into that heel. Feel how it travels down the bones into your hip socket. Next, bring that left ankle across on top of the right thigh. Thread your hands behind that right thigh and start to draw it in towards your torso. Then gently release, put your right foot on the floor, extend your left foot to the ceiling, and then go ahead and extend your right leg out upon the mat and make sure you tilt your pelvis so that the thigh is on the floor. So we'll start circling the foot and ankle, little toe side. And then circle back, big toe side. Take hold of your Theraband now and place it over the sole of your foot. Make sure the tails of the band, one in each hand. Not a hard pull down, but some resistance. And then start to pull with your right hand so the sole of the foot curls inwards. And then pull with your left hand and the sole of the foot curls outwards. Rock your ankle back and forth with your hands as you pull on one band, tail, and then the other. Come back to a neutral position. Make sure your leg is nice and straight and pull down on the ball of the foot and push through the heel. And then push upwards into the band with the ball. Then pull down and push through the heel. Inhale, push upwards with the ball of the foot. Exhale, pull down as you push the heel upwards. And then one more time, push the ball upwards. Place the tails in your left hand and let the leg go all the way out to the left. And circle it around, and then hoist it back up. And let it go out and around, and hoist it back up. So we'll do about 5 of these circles. And then we're going to reverse it, and let the foot go forward, and then circle out. And up, and forward, and out, and up. Do this 3 more times. And then come back to a neutral position and really pull down on the ball of the foot and push through the heel. Straighten that leg the best you can and get a nice stretch here. Keep the leg straight and pull your Theraband off your leg and let it float all the way down to the earth. Take your hands over your head and now see if you can feel a little bit of equanimity between your left and right sides. Hands over your head with the fingers reaching behind you and the toes actively pointed towards the top of your mat. Then gently release. Draw your right knee in and curl your head and shoulders up off the floor. Extend your left leg out. Now lift it up, the left leg, and then bring it back to a hover. Now we're going to switch to the left knee, to the right knee, to the left knee, and then lift and hover, and switch to 3, and lift and hover. Switch, 2, 3, and lift and hover. Switch, 2, 3, and lift and hover. Last one. Switch, 2, 3, and lift and hover. Place both feet on the floor and extend your legs out. Take your hands up over your head once again and take a nice long supine Tadasana stretch. Gently release and you'll grab your blocks and place them underneath your feet for an elevated bridge pose. And then make sure you grab your Theraband. So when you lift your hips, tuck your shoulders under so you feel supported, and lay your Theraband over the top of your thighs. So we'll do 8 pulses and then hold for a long 8. I want to remind everyone, as you pulse, you're still squeezing with each pulse the glute and the hamstring attachment. Here we go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold for a long squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Long hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last set and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now hold and squeeze for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And roll down one vertebrae at a time. Put your Theraband off to the side. Reach down and grab your blocks and put one of the blocks between your legs and the other block, place it between your hands with your hands directly above your shoulders. So your legs are at what we call tabletop, a 90-degree angle, and your hands are straight up to the sky. As you take the knees to the right, take the hands to the left, really tone your core, squeeze the blocks and hold, and inhale and come back through center. Hands go to the right, knees go to the left, tone the belly and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Over to the other sides again, and squeeze the blocks and tone the belly. 4, 3, 2, last one. Come back through center and over to the opposite side. Squeeze the blocks and hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back, put your blocks down, draw your knees into your chest, and give yourself a big hug. And then rock up to boat pose without touching. Yeah. Squeeze the legs together, make them firm. And then bring the soles of the feet together and the edges on your mat. Cup your hands over your shins and lift your heart. Exhale and round your back. Inhale, lift and lengthen and arch. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. This time take your hands behind you, turn your fingers towards the back wall, and push your spine a little more forward. Feel how the knees even move more outwards. And then gently release and cross your ankles into what's called easy seat. Take your hips and pull them back. Take your right hand behind you and your left hand to your right knee. Lift and lengthen through the spine and just do a nice gentle twist. And inhale, come back through center. Right hand over to left knee. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and rotate to that opposite side. Inhale and come back to center. You'll slide your right hand slightly out as you lift your left hand up. And as you reach over with your left hand, pull your right hip down, the outside edge. Inhale and come back through center. Left hand on the earth, right hand comes across the sky. Pull down on that right hip and inhale and come back to center. Then gently take your feet out in front. You may want to scoot back and give yourself a little more room, and we'll do some windshield wipers. So the wider you take your feet, the better. And we're going to twist all the way to the right. Can you come around towards the back wall and look? And then gently come back through center and twist all the way around to the left and look at the back wall. One more time, we're going to do that again. Twist and turn. And one more time, we'll twist and turn and come back to center. So swing your legs around you, and if you would like, you can put your blanket down for your knees. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get the lights so we can see a little better. There we go. Have your blocks out in front. In fact, let's put our blocks on the mat. Move them slightly forward. Now go ahead and let your knees be slightly wider. The hips are up over the knee sockets, and you prong your fingers into the blocks. Keep the blocks fairly wide. So the palms are not on the block, it's just your 10 finger pads. And let your armpits actually open and lengthen. This is a lymph gland stretch. And you can gently move side to side. Now inhale and round through cat. As you come forward, hands go flat on the blocks, and you do a gentle up dog. Let your hips sway, and then push back, and prong your fingers, and come into that puppy pose. Inhale, round through cat, and come forward again as you flatten your hands, and do a little serpentine sway, and come back. Now just put your blocks to the side for a moment. As you place your hands mindfully on your mat, slightly wider than your shoulders, fingertips turn slightly outwards. Now push the earth away from you so your shoulders protract. And then melt your heart and draw your arms into the sockets. That's retraction. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. Come into your downward facing dog. Begin to walk your dog very gently, bending one knee and then the other. Really encouraging one heel down and pushing, and then the other heel down and pushing. Nice and easy. And then come up into a plank and bring your shoulders over your wrists. Lower your knees down to the mat. Uncurl your toes and come on down. Now place your forearms on the floor for Sphinx pose and roll your inner thighs to the sky so that you can get all 10 toes down. Now push your forearms into the mat. See if you can lift up a little more. Draw your tailbone towards your heels. That's going to protect your low back. Then see if you can pull yourself forward and then pull your right ribs to your left forearm. And then inhale, come back through center and pull your left ribs towards your right forearm. And come back. Now, place your right forearm at a 45-degree angle to the top of your mat. And you'll begin to bend your left knee. Like you're watching TV. Maybe as a kid you remember being propped up like this and one leg moving through the air. Now, can you reach back? You can turn, grab that foot, and then bring your body back so that it faces the floor, and grab the foot and pull it towards your hip. At the same time, lift your hip towards your foot. Do you feel that stretch? And gently release. Lay the left arm down and begin to flex that right. So this is a somatic movement. All we're doing is sending signals to the brain saying, we're gonna bend this knee. And then you're gonna reach back, grab that foot. And you can stay right here or pull the foot tighter. And as you pull the foot tighter, lift your hip towards the foot. And gently release. Place your hands, push yourself up, and then step your right foot forward. Grab your blocks. Turn those right toes out towards 2 o'clock. And begin a somatic rock here. So now we're working more inner thigh and hips and just rocking back and forth. So I'm going to put my blocks down in front of me, and I'm going to crab walk my right foot towards my left hand. Almost past, well, I really am, past 12 o'clock. Prong my hands, and I'm going to do a gentle pigeon rock. So I'm letting that knee go forward and back. So the knee is just going forward and back. This is called turbonuclear pigeon. I didn't make that up. Someone here actually did make that. And then as you pull back, crab walk the foot back, and then bring it behind. And we'll step to the other side with your left foot. Take hold of your blocks. Point those toes towards 10 o'clock. And begin a somatic rock. Really trying to get that knee out over the toes. It's good for the ankle, good for the Achilles. And then I'm going to put my blocks down, put my hands on the floor, and crab walk that left foot over towards the right hand, and then I'm going to rock forward and back with the knee and the hips. Last one, and then bring that foot around behind, tuck your toes, and sit on your heels. Now, that little toe might get hooked underneath, so it helps to kind of pull it out. I know this is not pleasant. I'm feeling it too. And then you're going to place your hands, lift your hips, and straighten your legs. Move your blanket off of your mat. Inhale and halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Now, Now intertwine your arms and let your head dangle. Really make your legs firm so that you have stability in your lower body and more flexibility in your upper body. Now bring your torso to tabletop. Place your hands on your hips. Roll your shoulders on your back and rise all the way up. Good job. Inhale, lift the hands up. Interlace the fingers and turn the palms to the sky. As you do this, draw your inner thighs back. Draw your outer hips back. Feel how that helps you stack your bones. Exhale and release. So now we can come to the top of our mat. Bring your feet hip distance apart and see that the inside edges of the feet are parallel. Because a lot of people have a tendency to stand turned out or turned in. And it's just finding that Goldilocks principle. And then standing up nice and tall, simply turn your head to the right and back and right and back, right and back and right and center. Now we're going to go to the left and center, left, center, left, center, left, and center. Now lift your hands off and again tone that belly, tone the legs, and open up into cactus pose. So have the inner thighs rolling back. It will feel like you're sticking your booty out, but you're not. Draw your outer hips back without letting the thighs pop forward. So you're really engaging. Now draw your shoulders towards the spine. Lift your sternum. Lift the back of your neck and move your gaze to the sky. Inhale and lift up and exhale, hands into prayer. Go ahead and grab your Theraband one more time. So I'm going to loop the Theraband over my thumbs, and I'm not pulling real hard on it, but a gentle. And again, standing up nice and tall, seeing the feet are hip distance apart, legs are toned, inner thighs draw back, outer hips draw back. Do you feel how that puts your pelvis in a neutral position? Tone your belly, lift your sternum, and from the floor of your pelvis, lift to the crown of your head. Keep all of that and just pull apart. And as you pull apart, draw the shoulder blades towards the spine. And pull and back and pull and back. Really make those shoulder blades work. And back and pull and back and pull and back and pull and back. Anchor your right hand down. Bring your left hand up and over. Notice it's over my head. Good. And I'm just so going to pull down on the right and back. 2, back. Really tone your core. 3 and 4 and 5. And come back up and over to the left and pull down and up. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and up. Put your band down and take hold of your weights. Your choice of poundage is really up to you. Again, standing at hip distance apart with your feet. Soften your knees a little bit here. And then bring the hands right in front, and we're simply going to lift up with our elbows and down, and 2 and down, and 3 down, 4 down, 5, 6, 6, tone the belly, keep the thighs back, 7, and 8, good job. Bring the dumbbells up, elbows right in front, and we'll simply open up. I think these are called Arnold's as you come back, and open, and back, and open, back, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, tone the belly, and 8, good job. Bring the hands down, elbows to your rib cage. Here we go, curl up and back to tabletop, and 2, and 3, go slow, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, and 8. Bring the weights together, bring them up over your head, and we're just gonna dip them down and up, down, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5, up, 6, up, 7, up, and 8, good job. Place the weights down and shake it out for a moment. And then we're gonna face the long side of our mat and place our blocks on the side that our back is to, and we'll step our legs nice and wide. So Kelly, if you need to see me, you can also look in the mirror, okay?
Thank you.
Yes. Now turn your heels inwards and come into cactus pose. So the knees, be careful. There's a tendency for the knees to come in. You want to pull the knees back so they're over the toes. And you can do a little bounce here and then bring the hands up into cactus pose. Once again, now straighten and bring the hands up overhead, and then pull down and bend your knees. Inhale, straighten legs and arms, reach up, and pull down, and up, and down, and up. Now, turn the heels a little bit, place your hands on your thighs, find what's comfortable for your hips, and dip your left shoulder forward, and lift up, and dip your right shoulder forward, lift up, and left shoulder, and up, and right shoulder, up. One more time, left shoulder, up, and right shoulder, and up. Now turn the heels out, and forward fold. Bring your hands to the floor. Make sure your legs are nice and wide. That should allow your hands to touch the floor. And then go ahead and let your torso go deeper. Prong your fingers and take them wider. Bend your elbows. Now tone the legs and isometrically pull them together. Then inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine to tabletop. Bring your hands to your hips, roll your shoulders on your back, and come on up. Now we're going to turn our left foot to the left and come into a warrior two. And you may need to adjust your feet. Inhale, lift the hands up. Now reverse your warrior and lift this hand up. Exhale, bring the hand down. Grab your block. Place it right there under your shoulder. Bend into this left knee. This left thigh is parallel. Notice this right shoulder is forward. Can you pull it back as if you were between two panes of glass? Now take the top hand over your ear and get a nice long stretch. Now, circle down with your hand and straighten your front leg and come into triangle. You may need to adjust your block and then circle back up with the hand into triangle. Root into that back outer edge of your right foot. You might feel it in your hip. Take the top hand over your ear. Point your fingers towards that front door. Inhale and come up. Turn the feet. We're going to the other side. Turn your right foot, bend your knee, come into your warrior two. Extend the hands out. Lift up into your warrior four. Front hand turns forward and lift up. Exhale, come down. Take hold of your block. Bring it under your shoulder. Open up your torso. Draw this left shoulder back. Now bring the left arm over your ear. Nice and long. Really push in. Now, draw the arm down. As you circle it around, you're going to straighten that front leg and come into triangle. You may need to adjust the block. And then inhale and come back up. Turn the feet, step together, and shake it out. So now we're coming down to Malasana, a seated Malasana. So stack your blocks and have a seat. Open your feet nice and wide. Grab your Theraband. You may want blocks for this one.
We're gonna be here for a long time?
Uh-huh.
For a while.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to anchor your left hand down and lengthen your right hand. Get a nice long stretch here. Now lift up with your spine and rotate to your right. Look at that right thumb with your left eye. Inhale and come back to center. Anchor your right hand. Lengthen the left hand towards that back corner. Lift and lengthen through that spine. Rotate a little more. Look at that left thumb with your right eye. And inhale and come back to center. Then go ahead and take your blocks out and come on down. So go ahead and grab your blanket. Now, as it comes off the pile like so, you can double it over once. And then sit up on it. And draw your sit bones back. This will help give a little bit of tilt to your pelvis. Because a lot of times we sit and we curl back, and the back gets rounded and the floor of the pelvis pops up. So this way, we're more forward and the floor of the pelvis is now parallel to the mat or the ground. And then pull these sit bones back and extend the legs out nice and long. Roll the fascia of each leg inward. So now the legs are out in front, and notice you're about a fist and a half wide. So their second and third toes line up with the center of the ankles, center of the knees, center of the hip sockets. And you want to feel like you're right on the edge of that blanket, as if you're almost ready to come forward. So Cheryl, I'd come more forward. You've kind of got that all the way underneath. No, you want to be on that edge and then sitting up nice and tall. Now you can put your hands here, or put your hands here and draw your right knee in and extend it back out. And draw it in and extend it back out. And this time draw it in and let it fall and lift it back up. Now I'm going to move my foot more towards my knee and I'm going to let it fall and come back up. And one more time to the side and come back up. And then I'm going to let it fall right there. Now, depending on where is comfortable for you, you can have your foot further down or you can pull it up. I wouldn't pull it all the way up because that can aggravate the knee a little bit. Now, sit up tall. And this leg is nice and straight and the toes are up, and you can take your hands behind you. Now prong your fingers and push into the earth and lift through the spine. Not necessarily the chin, but feel a lifting up through the core, through the spine. And then gently release and lift the right ankle up and place it on top. And we're going to do that again. Take the fingers behind. As you push down into the fingers, lift up. Notice that this knee actually moves a little bit. And come back. In fact, we're going to take our hand and now place it on that right thigh, not on the knee, but on the thigh, and actually push down and up and down. So I'm going to ask you to flip your hand, Ian. Yes. And up, down, up. Now see how you want that. Beware of this ankle bone. Don't let it sickle. You want to keep it in a neutral position. And then as you bring it up, put the foot on the floor. And take your left arm and wrap it around that right knee and hug it in. There you go. Sit up nice and tall, holding that right knee in. Take the right hand behind you, lift and lengthen, and rotate to your right, and look over your right shoulder. And then inhale, and come back to center, undo the leg, and extend it back out. Now, we're gonna pull this in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and out. Last time, in and out. So now as we pull it in, we're gonna let it go to the side and up. Just feeling how it rotates in the hip socket. 3 and 4 and 5. Take your right hand behind you. Place your left hand on the center of your thigh and push down and up, down, up. And I think on the other side, I actually had the ankle on top. I was just thinking that. So go ahead and bring this ankle up on top, and we'll try it again of pushing down and up, down and up, down and up, down and up. Now, bring this knee across, put the foot on the floor, wrap your right arm around the knee, pull in, and sit up tall. Take your left hand behind you, lift and lengthen. Now start your rotation from your right ribs, pulling your right ribs around to the left as you look over your left shoulder with your right eye. And then gently come back to center and undo and extend the legs out. Now grab your Theraband once again. Make it nice and smooth. So I'm going to take my feet slightly wider than my hips, but not by much. And I'm going to pull these sit bones back. I'm right on the edge of the blanket. And I'm going to put a tail in each hand. And I've got my hands pretty much down by my knees, so I can pull back. I can pull my elbows back. Now, find that resistance that works for you and start to use the outside edge of your feet to move the band apart. Yes. Now it's the whole leg. In other words, I'm not doing windshield wipers. I'm using the whole legs, but don't move the legs. It's an isometric movement. When you do that, you feel the contraction in your hip sockets. Yeah, that's what I want. So we're strengthening those outside edges of your hips. And boy, there's been a lot on the internet lately about outer edges of the hips being weak. I don't know if you've seen it or not. But here we're strengthening it. It's just a little and release, and little and release, and little and release, and little and release. One more. There we go. and release. Now go ahead and put your band out to the side. Bring your feet a little closer together. And again, we're right on the edge of that blanket. And if you feel like your legs are lifting, tilt a little more forward, like you're trying to get the back of your thighs down. Place your fingers on the mat. Again, think of that string in your spine as you begin to hinge forward. So the neck stays at a neutral position. Isometrically draw your inner thighs down and your outer hips back. Let the spine hinge as you come forward. Now you can take hold of your ankles with a C-clasp of your hands. Or if you can reach your feet, you can wrap your fingers around the outer edge. Now you're gonna lift and lengthen through that spine, pull back on your legs or your feet, and then exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Find length in that spine. Draw the inner thighs down. Draw the outer hips back. And hinge again as you fold. And go ahead now and let your head curl in. Work your legs strong. Really pull those inner thighs down to the mat. Pull your outer hips back. Lift and lengthen. And exhale and release. Deeper into this forward fold. And then inhale and come up. Nice and gently. So go ahead and come off of your blanket. Put it to the side. And come on your backs, and I'm going to get the lights so they're not so much in your eyes. Draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a hug and rock side to side. And then roll those knees around so that you massage that sacral plate at the base of your spine. And then come back to a neutral position. Put your feet on the floor. Take your hands out to the side in T formation. Step into your feet and lift your hips and move them to the left edge of your mat. And then set them down and take the knees to the right. As the knees come over to the right, crab walk your right shoulder to the right so that the left shoulder will come down. So you don't have to have such a high knee. You can bring it down and then bring these together. If you want, take your right hand and put it on the outside edge of your left knee and anchor that down a little bit. Now, bring your face back to straight up to the ceiling. From an inhale, lengthen from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head. And then on an exhale, turn your head and look at your left hand. Palms facing upwards so that the shoulder externally rotates in that hip socket, shoulder socket. There you go. And simply enjoy your breath. So Cheryl, if this is too much, you can lower this knee so that they'll be on top of each other. Yeah. Doesn't that feel better? Yeah. Good, good, good. Twisting is very good. It helps stimulate your internal organs, but it does not wring out toxins. That is a myth. And then gently release and bring the knees back up and shift the hips to the center of your mat. And just pause here for a moment. And can you notice a difference between one side and the other. Then step into your feet, lift your hips, and move them to the right edge of your mat. Set them down. Let the knees fall over to the left. Now crab walk that left shoulder over to the left. There you go. So then the right shoulder actually has more room to touch the floor, and you would set up a better lumbar curve in your spine. If you want, take your left hand and put it on the outside edge of your right knee. Again, make sure that your right hand and left are up to the sky unless that left hand is on top of the knee. Now, looking straight up to the ceiling, lengthen from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head. On an exhale, turn and look at your right hand. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy your twist. Then gently come back to neutral. And draw your knees into your chest. Now extend your left leg out long upon the mat. And extend your right foot to the ceiling. And wrap your hands around that right thigh. Curl your head and shoulders up off of the earth. And climb your ladder, moving your hands up towards your ankle. There you go. Bring your face towards your kneecap. Now, as you exhale, bring your leg with you as you lower your head and shoulders back down. Let go of that leg. Keep it straight. Let it float out and down. And the hands float out and over your head. There you go. Nice, long, supine Tadasana stretch. And then gently draw your other knee in and give it a nice big hug. Extend that leg to the ceiling. Curl your head and shoulders up off of the floor. Climb your ladder as you move your hands towards your ankle. Bring your face towards your knee. And then on an exhale, lower down and bring the leg with you anymore. Let go of the leg and let them float out. Hands over the head, leg all the way down. And gently release. Bring your hands and arms beside you. Not too close, not too far away. Lift your heart a little bit and tuck your shoulders under. Let your legs be slightly wider than your hips. And your feet to fall away from the midline. Take a nice breath here, and as you exhale, let your whole entire back body settle from the back of your heels, the back of your calves, the back of your thighs, and the back of your hips, the back of your shoulders, the back of your arms, even the back of your head, right behind your eyes. Now bring your awareness to your face as you soften the skin on your forehead, all around your eyes, nose, and mouth. Turn those eyes more deeply down into their sockets, and then move your gaze to deep within your heart. Ride the wave of your breath. Shavasana. Bring life back into your toes and your fingers, your feet and your hands, your legs and your arms. Lift your hands and arms up over your head and take a nice long stretch. Then slowly draw everything into your heart and roll to your right or left side. Stay close to the earth for a moment and truly savor the sensations of the practice. And then slowly roll your heart deeper towards the earth and push yourself up and come around to a seated position. Bring the soles of your palms together one last time. Thank you all for coming on this beautiful Friday morning. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. The light within me bows to the light within each and every one of you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Happy Friday.
Thank you.